Filipino racer Bianca Bustamante setting a new milestone in Monza, Italy. The 18-year-old racer from Laguna captured her second career win over the weekend by topping race 3 of round 5 of the F1 Academy at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. It was also a dream come true for Bianca, winning at the said track with her team, Prema Racing. Let's go all out on this story with Bianca Bustamante herself, joining us again via Zoom all the way from Annecy, France. Bonjour. Good evening from Manila, Bianca.
Bonjour.
Galing ba?
Po. Good evening
Hello.
po sa inyo lahat.
Again, maraming salamat kahit tuloy-tuloy na ang iyong mga panalo. Dinidedma mo kami sa social media. Buti naman. No, but congratulations to you, Bianca. Second career win. Grabe. Ito na. I remember that conversation we had. I don't know if it was the last one or the first one, pero sabi mo, it was your dream. But dalawa na yung sunod mo. You continue to be a trailblazer for Filipinos in racing. How do you feel about this one?
To be honest, I think it still hasn't sinked into me yet that I actually won in Monza. I think a lot of people know that it's my favorite circuit. And to be racing with, I would always say as my dream team, because coming from Philippines, I've always looked up to a lot of the European teams. And Prema always stood out because they were so competitive and they had so much love and passion for the sport. So to actually win our home race together at Monza, it was really a moment for me. And, when I got on the podium, the anthem was played once again in the stage at Monza.
Woo!
And I heard all the Italian fans chanting my name. And
Yeah.
I think it was just a surreal moment. Like, wow.
Bianca, you said it's your favorite, this circuit in Monza. Why is this your particular favorite? And how is this different from your first one? Your first win?
Man, I think, Monza, it's known to be the temple of speed. It's, I would say, one of the fastest circuits in the world. We're maximizing the machinery, fighting for every kilometers down the straight. You had to be very strategic, everything mattered with the upshifts, with the downshifts, braking points. Mm-hmm. And, at a track like this where precision is so required and the driving, you needed to be smart. I actually, on the race that I actually won in race 3, I started P2. I was behind a really, really good driver, Abby Pulling. And, it was very difficult to pass her because she was very quick. Mm-hmm. So I had to really prepare my pass, and I got her round the outside at Curva Grande. So I think, making a passes like those round the outside, I just felt so alive. And that's why it's really my favorite track.
Pati yung turn na yun, grabe. Yun nga, you were saying, can you just paint us a picture about how difficult that turn was? Kasi dun ka nakahabol dun sa turn na yun. How pivotal was that, Bianca?
It was really the corner where I was like thinking to myself, do I send it? Do I not? Do I go for the move? Because it's the corner where you're flat out. We're actually not braking in that corner. It's the only corner in that circuit where you're turning flat. And so you're turning flat at about 240 kilometers per hour. And you're like, as you can even see on the video, we're side by side like this, like our tires nearly just touching. And it takes so much precision to see her car and to not lose control of to not lose control of my car as well. And to actually make the move stick, I was just like smiling from ear to ear inside my helmet. I was just like praying that God keeps me safe, that I'm able to pull off the move, and I did. And so it was really, I would say, the moment of my career so far.
Well, you also said on your post, we talked about it, this was really one of your dreams. 7-year-old Bianca would be very, very proud of you right now. You also mentioned about hearing the national anthem again. It's just, kasi yung una goosebumps Goosebumps pa rin ba dito this time around, Bianca? Like, also, no, like for me, who hasn't really heard the national anthem at any competition aside from flag raising ceremony pag grade school, di ba? No, but it's different for an athlete to hear that your national anthem playing when you're on top of that podium.
I'm like trying to think about it again, like it's one thing to hear the anthem being played, but it's another hearing it being played because of you, like like every time I see the flag, I'm just thinking to myself, especially on the top side of the podium, I'm just thinking to myself, I stick the flag down there, I'm the reason why it's up there. I'm the reason why it's being played. And, not to like sound like maangas or something, pero
Yeah,
it really
yeah,
is such a feeling.
of
Like
course.
it's incomparable. It's you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your country, for everyone supporting you. And it's like that moment where everyone at the track, my competitors, the mechanics, the team,
Yeah.
they're all silent. They're just putting their hands behind their back and just listening to the anthem. And for the Filipino anthem to be heard by a lot of people at Monza, I think I was very
Oh
proud
yeah.
to be Filipino.
Oh yeah. And yes, you're just humble. That's why, pero ako mismo magsasabi, maangas yun, Bianx. Nasa Italy ka, Monza, Italy, nagpe-play yung lupang hinirang, maangas yun. Big sabihin, panalo Pilipino. Bianx, you had to retire early dun sa race 1 after a crash.
Yeah.
That must be frustrating for you. But how are you after that? And like that, it's really difficult to be disappointed after that happened to you, and then you were able to, to bounce back. Tell us that whole process after the crash.
I mean, it was like I think I was a bit shocked with the incident, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I don't know if many people saw, but I posted it actually on my Instagram story. The tire was this close from hitting my head because a car went on top of me as she misjudged her braking points.
Wow.
And so it makes me realize again that
Yeah,
how
yeah.
dangerous this sport is,
Yeah.
and how much we're putting on the line just to win, like
Yeah, yeah.
just to be number one. And in my head, I was like, damn, if it weren't for the halo, the metal thing surrounding my head,
Buti na lang.
I could have, I don't know, what could have happened. I could
my.
have gotten injured really, really badly.
Yeah.
And so, I was very thankful to walk away from that crash, to walk away and still compete the next race. So in my head, I was just focused, like tunnel vision. I think that's why motorsport is so beautiful, because you're so filled with adrenaline.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking about the crash. You're just thinking of, oh, I want to get back in the car. I want to race
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I want to compete. I want to do this. And, for race 2, that's what it was. I went from P9 to P2. I think I was the only driver to have gained that many positions in the race.
Grabe.
And I was making, moves after moves. And
Yeah.
at that point, I wasn't really thinking about, is it safe? Am I going to be okay? Am I hurting? Am I, like all the moves I made in my head, I was just like, I want to go for it. I want to stick my name to in history here at Monza. I want that win. And yeah.
Well, keep on going, and stay where you are. Let's continue this conversation.
so
We just
much.
have to take a really quick time out, Bianca. Diyan ka lang, ha? Our conversation with racer Bianca Bustamante will continue after this really quick time out. You're watching Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines, where we go all out for the day's top sports stories. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines. And our guest tonight, the winner of race 3 of round 5 of the F1 Academy, Bianca Bustamante, still joining us from Annecy, France. Bianca, you bounced back really good after that mishap in race 1. We talked about it, getting second place in race 2, followed by a win in race 3. So tell us, how did you, because you said, yung ginawa mo nga from P9 to P2, it's a lot easier said than done. But you developed that kind of poise already, that confidence in you. What were the other things that you developed and worked on since entering F1 Academy? Because you know yourself, you told me this, I remember, it's a different stage, it's a different level now that you're in.
It is. I mean, I'm driving with a lot of very experienced drivers. I'm with a very, very well-known team, Prema Racing. And so I've always needed to help myself at a higher standard because of this. And, along the way, we've really gotten so far, and yet so much more to achieve. I think that this season was really just a mental battle. When you're competing with the best, the car, the driving, it's such a little margin. So when you're competing, it's actually, who has the strongest brain, who has the strongest will, who's willing to, put it down the line, who's willing to risk it all. And I think that's what really, really, I would say we were competing for, is who was braver, who was ready to go for that pass. And for me this year, I guess being so inexperienced, from last year and the previous years, I lacked confidence in myself. You know, I will always think that, oh, I'm not good enough. You know, maybe I don't deserve to be here. You know, maybe this and that, and just a constant overthinking and
Yeah.
self-doubt. But
Yeah.
this year, I have amazing community behind me, amazing people. You know, my amazing sponsors, the Escalante families, who's been supporting me in and out. Daryl, my manager, and of course my race team, Prema Racing,
Yeah.
who's constantly believed in me. I've always said that it's not often that people see potential in me, but the fact that they did and they supported and believed in that is the reason why I'm here now.
That helps a lot with a great support system that you have. And you mentioned everybody that's been there with you. It really helps a lot. Well, one of also the bigger storylines
It
before.
takes a village to build a champion.
You said it, correct. And champions say that in sports. You know that. One of the bigger storylines, before I let you go, Bianca, you moved up 6th place, so overall driver standings. How confident are you now? Because you're in the right track, literally and figuratively. How confident are you now of cracking that top 3?
Well, you know, like I've said, like one good weekend cannot define the next upcoming one. So it's always really about always pushing yourself and never letting a day go by without saying that, oh, I worked on myself today and I feel I'm getting better. Like I always have this motto that I say to everyone is 1% better every day. You know, like I'm here now at Annecy after the race weekend, we're training. I just finished a 20-kilometer uphill ride in my bike and I'm sweating so much. But yeah, you know, I'm always training every day, keeping myself fit because, you know, driving is one thing, but being mentally and physically prepared is another. And you know, I'm always trying to better myself and be better than what I was yesterday. So I think, you know, heading into the last 2 races of the season, I know that all of the girls are getting even better, more experienced and progressing as well. So it really comes down to who's willing to work the hardest, you know, who's willing to outwork the others, who's willing to train more and to learn more. And you know, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's reaping. You know, it's showing. You now have 2 career wins. What's next? What's the next step for Bianca Bustamante?
I mean, hopefully to get the 3rd one, the 4th one, and the 5th one. But,
Nga naman.
but yeah, I think for racing, for me, it's never really about winning. Like I've said this a lot of times. The result will come after you put in all the hard works prior.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just loving the journey. I'm loving the fact that I get to race, I get to do what I love. You know, I get to live out my passion, and of course share it with everyone, to you guys, and to keep representing. Hopefully, inspire the next generation. You know, that's what's next for me. And obviously, you know, to move up the ladder as well. Hopefully, make it to F3, F2. But you know, who knows?
Tuloy-tuloy lang, Bianca. And may mga nagtatanong kung marunong ba daw magtagalog.
Yes.
Ano ka ba? Pilipina yan si Bianca. Isa yun sa mga magaganda about you.
Marunong na marunong po.
Exactly. You speak great English and great Filipino. Quickly, yung mensahe mo, your message to all your supporters,
Yes,
Bianca. Just proud of you. Go ahead.
Maraming salamat po. Alam ko na simula pa lang to ng journey natin sa mundo ng karera. Salamat dahil from the very beginning, naniniwala na kayo at patuloy kayo sumusuporta sa akin. At I miss ko na yung Pilipinas, promise.
Balik ka na dito.
Every day, araw-araw iniisip ko yung Filipino food. Yes, actually, malapit na po ako umuwi because
Sige.
we're malapit na po kaming to mag-end ng mid-season break. So we're heading to our mid-season break. So sometime between August, makaka-uwi na rin ako.
Perfect. Bianca, stop by. Make sure that one of your kasama sa itinerary mo of dropping by here, studios of CNN Philippines on Sports Desk.
I will.
Our digital...
I hope you guys invite me again.
Yeah, for sure. CJ Marquez, bibigyan ka daw ng puto at dinuguan dahil nag-crave ka daw sa Italy. Congratulations again, Bianca. We're so proud of you. Keep on going, kid. That was Filipino racer Bianca Bustamante, who recently capped her 2nd career win. Thanks, Bianca.